Universal is in the process of building at least four new attractions: Epic Universe, a new family park, a year round haunt attraction, and a brand new theme park possibly coming to the United Kingdom. On top of this, new theme parks seem to be popping up everywhere in the United States. Mattel Adventure Park hasn't even opened their first location and they already announced a second one. Great American Heartland theme park looks incredible if it finally comes into fruition, and Storyville Gardens coming to Nashville will be very interesting to see. Disneyland is clearing hurdles for their major expansion over in California, and SeaWorld Orlando is rumored to be adding a giant hotel to make it a full resort destination. And not to mention the fact that Universal Orlando is getting Epic Universe, and Disney is going to continue adding rides. It is because of this that I believe we will see a theme park boom over the next couple of years. This is why the next decade is going to be crucial for theme parks. So let's talk about it. If we take a detailed look at the theme park industry in general, we will notice one thing over the past couple of years. And that is the theme park industry in general is very resilient. Theme parks stood the ultimate test of time. They survived COVID 19. Parks are still bouncing back, but they are bouncing back with a vengeance. We are finally at the point where we can see that the parks are not as affected by COVID as much anymore. They are fully bouncing back to the levels and above of what they were prior. Secondly, we see continued investment. Parks are shoving lots of money into their new attractions in order to draw guests and to improve their park value. You take a park like Dollywood, they are constantly invested in putting new attractions in. They are going to add over $500 million worth of park investments over the next 10 years. So, this is very good for the theme park industry. It's a great sign. What this shows is that the market really wants these new attractions and new theme parks. So when a park like Epic Universe gets built, people are going to bite at the chance to go to the park. It's going to create a lot of hype. I have never seen this much hype around a park before Epic Universe. This is truly a game changer. Epic Universe seems to change the mindset of those not interested in theme parks. It makes your average Joe out there suddenly interested in the inner workings of theme parks and just how cool of an experience they can have. I think this is going to ignite the passion for theme parks in the American public. Well, what about all these other parks that are being announced? Well, the Universal ones, whether it be the London one, the Haunt attraction, or the Family Park coming to Texas, Universal is going to do those very well. They are coming with a vengeance. I believe for a long time that Universal and Disney were neck and neck, but Universal now is 100% pulling ahead. The experience at Universal is second to none, and they are really trying to grow the company, the theme park section of the company, a lot. So, what about all these other parks, such as the Great American Heartland theme park, and the Mattel Adventure Park, and then the Storyville Gardens? Well, what about these guys? Well, I'm going to separate these into two different categories: the 100% happening, and then the probably not happening. So, obviously, Mattel Adventure Park is going to come into fruition. Barring some unforeseen tragedy, this is definitely going to happen. And I'm very excited for it. Mattel Adventure Park isn't a huge attraction. I mean, they have coasters, they have go-karts, they have indoor stuff, but it's pretty cool. They have their giant indoor section of this park, so I think this is going to do something very unique for the industry. It is going to shift the focus from these big parks to this small, mid-sized park. I am very excited to see this. If you go around Europe, you see all those mid-sized to small-sized parks, but the United States doesn't really have anything in between a family fun center and then your regional theme park. This is going to be very cool to see. Now, as for these other parks, I'm not sure they're going to actually pan out. I would be very surprised if the Oklahoma one, the Great American Heartland Park, if it actually comes into fruition, but I would be overjoyed. I mean, this thing is expensive. It is $2 billion. That is not cheap, guys, especially for a theme park. That's almost around Disney level, okay? This is pretty cool. Now, I'm not sure it's going to happen, like I mentioned, but if it does, this will definitely change the game because it's going to be larger than a lot of those regional parks out there, like your average Six Flags Park or Cedar Fair Park. Now, the one rumored to come to Tennessee looks like it might not pan out as well. With both of these parks, we saw an initial announcement and then it kind of like died off. And that happens a lot in the industry. I mean, remember when the polar coaster was supposed to come to Orlando, that giant thing? However, we are seeing a lot more of these brand new park announcements come into the media. I mean, it's almost like every day you hear of a new park being built in Dubai or the Middle East somewhere, as well as Asia has a lot of plans as well. United Kingdom also has floated around some stuff, and with this new Universal thing that might happen, which I think it has a good chance of happening, it's going to really change the game over there. And as for the United States, we are seeing quite a lot actually. You have to remember, we just got Lost Island theme park, and new water parks are coming all the time. Now, if we take a look at the US economy, I know I'm going on a little bit of a rabbit trail. Things are more expensive and people have less spending money. Yet, there is still a demand for the theme parks and attractions. So, what this leads me to believe is that when the economy eventually steadies itself, which it does, it goes up and down and it rises and falls, but it usually eventually gets back on track in the long run. When it does, people are going to have more money in their pocket, and where are they going to spend it? Well, the demand is going to increase for these attractions. One industry that the theme park industry heavily mirrors is the cruise ship industry. Usually they correspond quite nicely. When demand is up for one, it is up for the other. Within the cruise ship industry right now, we are seeing a trend of bigger and better. We are seeing giant water parks being added to cruise ships, roller coasters, theme parks. It is crazy. So I think that shows that there's a demand for these theme park like attractions. So now we reached the part of the video where I want to make a few predictions, and some of these are going to be bold predictions. This is Kosher Josh's bold predictions for the future of theme parks. My first bold prediction is that we will see a minimum of 3 new parks being built in the United States over the next 10 years. Now, when I say being built, I mean from the ground up, from announcement to actually being built. And I'm not including Epic Universe or the Mattel Adventure Park. I'm talking about parks that we've never heard of before. In the 2010s, we didn't really see too many parks get built outside of water parks. So this is something that I truly think is going to change. We're going to see ground up parks. Now, what companies could build these ground up parks? Well, United Parks and Resorts, the new SeaWorld name change, definitely could add some more. As well as Hirsch End. I mean, Hirsch End is a wild card here. They neglect Kentucky Kingdom, but they truly push a lot of money into their 2 flagship properties, Dollywood and Silver Dollar City. If we look at the amusement industry in general and we look at it over a time frame, we will notice that kind of the interest of the general public rises and falls. So in the early 2000s, it was growing, and then in the 2010s, it kind of declined a little bit, and then now it's going to rise back up. And this is true all the way from the 80s. So it goes up and down, up and down. And I believe we are entering a boom. We are entering the peak of the theme park industry, at least for a while. I think new parks are going to get pushed out as well as new attractions. A lot of this is dependent on the US economy, but like I said, that also rises and falls. So I think this is a very good place for the industry to be in. Epic Universe is the match that lights the fire. It's going to get the theme park boom started in the US and hopefully across the globe. Who knows what's going to happen, but I definitely think a theme park boom is upon us. But what do you think? Leave your comments in the comments below. I am very curious to hear everyone's thoughts about this topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This is the Kosher Josh, signing out.